Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending our Dakota Prairie Awards ceremony. Thanks to the students, the public that's come, and the great and powerful Carolyn Birdall. Thank you for attending today. Before I continue, any groups that get awards today, I would like, once you get all called down, to come to the drape there and get a photo with your group. Ms. Hurst will take your photo. Okay? All right. So today we are here to celebrate all of the great groups and the accomplishments that we have had on a yearly basis. It's been a continuous theme when I've been in front of you this year to talk about all the different things that we do. We have a wide variety of talents that you students are in and have, and I think it's a great thing to take an hour out of the day and make sure that we celebrate you. Students, you guys are very respectful, and please continue to give your undivided attention while people are presenting today. I appreciate it. Before we begin with the award show, I have a special shout out I would like to give and a gift. I want to present it to a very special young lady in the school. She has shown a tremendous amount of courage throughout this past year and has handled it with grace. She has a great sense of humor and a brilliant mind. We may be saying goodbye this year, but I expect that we will see this gal on the news making a positive change in this world. Please give a round of applause for our foreign exchange student, BB. And to begin this award show, we will have our one-act play with Miss Sarah Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Thank you. I'm supposed to officially remind you that as we're going through and listing off human names, if you would please do what we call a speech clap, which is like you just say, I'll say the name and then you clap. You want to do a practice round? Practice round! All right. Student name. Student name. Beautiful. All right. Okay. So this year for the fall one-act play, we did a comedy that was called Friday Night Live. It was a collection of a bunch of different Aesop's fables, and we had 10 students who started out with it, and then 9 who ended up performing at regionals. We did not take first or second. There are 4 schools in our region. So we were either third or fourth. Doesn't matter. We had a great time. Yeah. The students who were in the play were Genevieve Hopparth, Bowen Hendrickson, Riley Corby, Cale Peavy, Cooper Hubdeness, Noah Rance, Dakota Esfold, Cheyenne Forty, and May Ellen Emery. Please come down. Pin. Okay. Grab your. Okay, hold it up for a picture. There you go. You can stab it through the paper if you need to. Cooper, you're next on the thing here. Noah. There you are. Dakota. There you go. Diane. And We also had Aaron White started out the play with us, and then there were some complications and some problems and some drama and issues and all of that stuff. And I just wanted to thank him, Aaron. It's okay. I just wanted to thank you for teaching these guys so much. Okay? Thank you. We'll miss you next year. And now, Mr. Robert Kraft.
Okay, I will be presenting visual art awards today, so I'm just going to start off with a little bit of a personal statement. So here we go. Visual arts classes are a chance for students to change gears. It is an opportunity for students to explore their artistic abilities, a chance to work with a variety of materials and concepts. It is spatial, dimensional, and therefore in many ways mathematical. It is also a way of expressing likes and dislikes, a path to self-expression. It can be very therapeutic as well. Visual art classes are a way for students to explore who they are, how they feel about things in their lives, and the world around them. I have the opportunity to work with many different personalities, all creative in their own ways. I try to encourage students to enter artwork in shows, especially the Nelson County Arts Council Student Show, and many times they feel uneasy about that, and then they'll find surprise. Their artwork was in the show, because I will pull things and put them in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to recognize the students who had pieces of art in the Nelson County Arts Council Student Show that received awards. We had a total of 41 student artworks in the show. Students received 19 awards from this judge show. Okay, and here we go. The first one, Mr. Chris Sledebach. Chris received a first place for an acrylic painting, a first place for a watercolor and ink piece, and a second place for a pencil drawing. Most of these are automobile themed, which is one of his favorite subjects, one of his great likes. Okay, next student is Mr. Jack O'Brien. And he received a first place for a tempera painting. The next one, she is not here, but Caitlin Reese received a third place for printmaking. And Ethan Walter, the second place for oil pastel. Alex Gibbs received a second place for a watercolor and pencil piece of art. Jordan Ortiz received a third place award for a watercolor. Lauren Johnson received a first place for a collage piece. Rain Nahinyark. Rain received a second place for an acrylic painting and a second place for a paint and marker piece. Okay. Marley Stein received a third place for a surreal themed sculpture, or excuse me, collage piece. And Amanda Vance received a first place for a printmaking piece and a second place for a tile mosaic. And then we come down to the students that I do not work with, which is junior high, but you don't have to be in an art class to enter this show. And I always try to state that, and I try to encourage students to enter. But we had 2 7th graders that entered this year. Natalie Olson, who is not here today, but she received a 2nd place for a digital print that she did. And then we have Paul Russia. Okay. Well, Paul Russia received an honorable mention and a 1st place for a pen drawing that he had done. Now, I have to explain that a little bit because in this show, they usually select best of show individuals too. Honorable mention in this respect, along with a 1st place, means that although the judge liked another piece a little bit more, that he was the runner-up for best of show for junior high. So he also received a 1st place for a marker drawing and a 2nd place for a pencil and marker drawing. So those are the winners of the awards recipients from the Nelson County Arts Council Student Show. Okay. So if we can get you over here for a picture. Okay. And then I'm going to announce the selected artist merit awards that I usually give out every year. So I'm going to take a little bit of time, or I'm going to pause a little bit here and allow them to get that photograph taken first. Okay, so now I'm going to ask Lauren and Mariah and Chris, and is Zachary here too? I'm going to ask them to hang around down here, please. Okay. So, each year I select students to receive an Artistic Merit Award. And it is presented to students who exhibit a strong work ethic, determination to improve, a willingness not to give up on what they're doing, and building exceptional artistic ability. And I see that in all of these students. So I'm going to give them their certificate now. Lauren, if you'd come and receive your certificate. And then if you want to go back over there. Mariah. Zachary. Christopher. And there's one who isn't here that also received that, and that is Caitlin Reese. And so next on our agenda would be FCCLA. Is Mrs. Renee Shanalock here? It's you?
Okay, as you can see, I'm obviously not Shanalock. She's sick, so she asked me to fill in for her. I don't have a list of FCCLA members, so just come on down if you're an FCCLA and we can do one big clap. So everyone from FCCLA, please come down. Woo. Yeah, just wait. Yeah, just stand in the Holy cow. I'd like to give a special shout out to Brandy Shock, who is our president, and a special shout out to Lily, who is our VP. Shanalock wanted me to say some things we did in FCCLA. We did meals every Friday once a month, a meal one Friday a month. We did angel tree gifts. We did activities with the elementary during Christmas. We did a cake fundraiser for Liam Douglas. Brandy was in a star event, so hip hip hooray for Brandy. We served food at our star event that we hosted. And then finally, 7th graders, y'all can join next year. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's a blast. Thank you.
Next on the program is Science Olympiad with Mr. Tyrell Rose.
Really? So this year as we always do, we send a group. We go to Valley City to compete for the regional competition in the last Thursday of March every year. We did that again. We had a full younger division team this year with 7th, 8th, and 9th graders all competing. You can only have 15 on a team, so we had a full team, which is always good because you get more points when you're in more events, and we ended up making it to state because of it. The upper division, we had, I think we only technically had like 5 kids go with this year due to a couple complications, with the big one being close-up in DC. So there was some gone for that, which we had a smaller group, but that's okay. So I will have you all come down here, and then we will take a picture. First up, we have Donovan Klein. One of our 2 captains we had this year, first one being Lily Donahue. And the second captain was Brandy Schock. They're over here, yeah. Here, this is yours too. Jesse Monsabraten. Dagan Slade. For the younger division, this team went to state and they did very well. It's always a good time to go to Fargo, and we have a really fun time. It's always really tough competition, so we did not medal in state, but it's always a great experience for the kids. And on that team this year was Marley Stein, Cara Saturn, Dominor Peters, Haley Rosewarren, Jenna Hoffarth, Kendra Henke, Annika Charles, Riley Corby, Bennett Onstead, Fiona Klein. Brianna Sharp. Devin Fugner. Bowen Hendrickson. Lily Schneider. And Hannah Magnus. Thank you. Done. Real quick, we also did have planned to have a science bowl competition in Bismarck. The weather kind of ruined our plans for it this year, but I'll at least recognize those of us that were on the team. They did some practicing, and we made it to Carrington before we turned around. So on that team, consisting of 5 people, was Aaron White, Lily Donahue, Jaden Collins, Brandy Schock, and Danica Magnus. Speech, speech. Get it?
All right. So the speech season starts in January and runs until the week after Easter is when they have state. So, I mean, it's like a really, really long season. All of our meets are on Saturdays, which is not always what people want to do. But I did have 6 students this year who joined the speech team and spent a lot of Saturdays with me. All 6 of my students actually state qualified to go and compete at state speech, which was the same weekend as state science Olympiad. I took 4 people with me. We had so much fun. Those people were Dagan Slade, Dakota Esfold, Genevieve Hopparth, Haley Rose Warren, Amanda Vance, and Royce Dazell. Woo-woo! I do have these for you too.
I haven't had any today.
Next is the spelling bee, which is also me. Yes, me, just 2 in a row. The spelling bee each year takes place. It's a Nelson County competition that we do. And this year we had 12 students from Dakota Prairie who competed against, I think it was like 8 students in Lakota. Do you remember? No? Math Counts also has, I think, the same kind of rough numbers type of thing. But anywho, so I have the students take a couple pre-tests kind of to qualify for the spelling bee, and the people who have the highest correct number of words spelled are usually the people who end up coming with. I usually also check and make sure that they're able to go, that they want to go, and different things like that. I had 12. Holy mackerel. Yep. I had 12 students who attended the spelling bee, and actually, While we were there, the first place went to a Lakota student, and the first runner-up was Tegan McKay. And yeah. Tegan McKay, not Tegan Dolan. Tegan McKay, junior high kid. All right. And she went to state for it. So all of my students who were in the spelling bee and competed this year were Hadley Strand, Royce Dazelle, Tegan McKay, Fiona Klein, May Ellen Emery, Jaden Linsky, Nathan Beglow, Liv Halverson, Annika Charles, Bowen Hendrickson, Jenna Hoffarth, and Kendra Henke.
All right. I am here to announce our student council members. We had another successful year with student council. These students work very hard in trying to make the school an enjoyable place to be. They also try to work hard to make any necessary changes that they hear from their class and try to make the school overall a more positive environment. They spend a lot of time outside of school making sure that, like dances, for instance, take a lot of time to set up and be at. So younger students, I encourage you to look up to these older kids and see that's what leadership looks like. And I also encourage you that if you are looking to make a change at the school, this is the first place that you should be looking. So in our 7th grade, we had Owen Kieber and Tegan McKay. In our 8th grade, we had Bennett Onstead and Hannah Magnus. They're right there. In our 10th grade, we had Dorian Schneider and Abigail Speck. In our 11th grade, we had Lily Donahue, Brandy Schott, and Jazzy Lee. And then in our 12th grade, we had Jaden Collins, Keegan Jovic, and our president, Jesse Matzaban. So congratulations, guys.
Okay, the next one that we're going to talk about is Okay, the next one that we're going to talk about is source of strength. So I also do not have a full roster of kids. It kind of fluctuates throughout the year of new students joining, some students stepping away from it. I was away for a couple weeks during the year for my paternity leave, so it just kind of got messed up. But if you were in sources of strength or participated throughout the year, please come down and be recognized as such. All right, so Sources of Strength, kind of like Student Council, is a student organization that aims to promote, morale around the student body. We are not an elected group. We are any interested people are able to join. The first semester, we had a few ice cream days. We had some different things going on where we're planning a service project that kind of did not get planned as far as we wanted it to. And then, like I said, I was out for my paternity leave, and after that, it just kind of didn't get together as much as we could have, should have. Like I was telling them this morning when we had our first meeting in like 3 months, that I've had a meeting scheduled for the last 3 Fridays and then just forgot that it was a thing. So, yep, these people were very involved. We had our president of Jaden Collins, our vice president of Brandy Schock, our secretary of Dagan Slade, and our treasurer of Lily Donahue. So thank you to those 4 officers. And next year, this group will be kind of operating in the same capacity as, doing different things around the school. So we will be meeting next year to kind of determine the officers for the future year. So thank you all for your service. Do we need a picture? Okay, all right, so head over to the left. Next on the ballot here is math counts with Mrs. Kelly Johnson.
Hi, I'm here to present Math Counts Awards. So Math Counts is a middle school only program. It's open to 7th and 8th graders. How it kind of works is every fall we have a school competition where all of the 7th and 8th graders take a math test. The top 12 people that on that test then qualify to go compete at the chapter competition. That chapter competition is in Dakota against the rest of the county, so basically Dakota and us. Then the results of that chapter competition go to our whole region, which includes like 8 counties or something. It's a very big region. And the top 8 individuals and the top 4 teams get to compete in state. So we had 3 individuals that competed at the state level as well after our chapter competition. So I am going to call down the top 12 from the school competition that competed at the chapter competition, and then I'll recognize those last 3 that went on to state. So the folks who competed at the chapter competition would be Peyton Peltier, Owen Kieber, Hadley Strand, Kendra Hankey, Hannah Magnus, Annika Charles, Elliot Kieber, Bowen Hendrickson, Cody Klefstead, and then our 3 who competed at the chapter competition and did well enough that they were able to represent us at the state competition were Graham Corby, Nathan Bigelow, and Bennett Onstead. Next up will be Mr. Clay Johnson for cross country.
Okay. So for the most part today, our awards are all clubs and academics in the program. However, if you weren't sure, our cross-country program, we co-op with Larimore and Northwood. And any of our athletes in cross-country are representing Dakota Prairie. So this year we had one competitor in cross-country, and that is Tyler Cree Bigelow. Come on down. Tyler had a very good year. He set a personal record in Moorhead. He ran over 3 miles in 19 minutes, and he also competed in state. So he had his best year that he's ever had. So way to represent Dakota Prairie. Thank you.
Similar to cross country. Thank you. Similar to cross country, we also have a wrestling program that is co-opted with Larimore. This year we had Sophia Betts participate in wrestling. Come on up. So Sophia had a extremely successful season. She had a record of 17-10. She took 5th place in regionals, which made her get to state. As far as placing throughout the season, she took 1st place in 2 separate tournaments, one in Delac, and one in Bemidji, 2nd place in Velba, and a 3rd place in Grafton, as well as other tournaments that she went very high in. 2 biggest things that she won, voted on by her teammates, were she was the girls' most valuable player for wrestling. And she won the most improved wrestler for all of Larimore. Congratulations, Sophia.
All right, so the next sporting awards that we're going to have that is not co-opt between us and Lakota for Nelson County. This was a strictly Dakota Prairie sporting event with an addition of a Lakota boy, Mr. Chris Ross, that isn't able to be here today. So we have a roster of students that participated throughout the season. We did have a few kids that joined, and then for personal reasons and for other reasons, they were not able to finish the season. So we are going to have those that finish the season all the way through come by. I would have you stand to my right, please, and then Mr. Rose will hand you certain items as I recognize you throughout, and then you can just kind of filter across the stage here. So our first student is Mr. Billy Bjorley, Jaden Collins, Riley Corby, Graham Corby, Dawson Fugner, Finnegan Heitkamp, Griffin Heitkamp, Bowen Hendrickson, Cooper Hovdenis, Gideon Klein, Donovan Klein, Danica Magnus, Jack O'Brien, Kale Peavy, Dominar Peters, Noah Rance, Caitlin Reese, Chris Ross, we talked about, he's from Lakota, not able to be here, Wyatt Rustin, Brandy Schock, Mo Riley Stephen, and Porter Stephen. All right, So a couple of these students were dedicated to the sport. They were able to make it to many of our competitions and esports as opposed to other sports throughout the year. We don't have dedicated practices every day of the week. Instead, we have different competitions for the several game titles that the Fenworks company offers. For example, those students that play Super Smash Bros. Are in the esports lab on Mondays for their weekly competition. And it's an 8-week season with a 2-day state championship afterwards. Okay, so we are going to be passing out letters and pins to students. If the students listen up, please, in the esports, if you have not received a varsity letter for Dakota Prairie or Nelson County that looks like this, a varsity letter, please grab one from Mr. Rose. Okay. We also just hold on. Oh. Okay. So esports is a rather new varsity sport, and so the choices for varsity pins, like the actual gold pins, are very slim. So instead, students will receive an IOU certificate for a esports pin when they have better options for us to choose from. Those students that are returning and also qualified for a varsity letter will receive their bar today, though. So Billy Bjorley will receive a letter and a pin for his service in esports this year. Go ahead, Billy. Okay. Jaden Collins will receive her IOU and a bar because she was in this last year. Same with Riley Corby. Will receive his letter, pin, and bar. Graham Corby, as a first-year student, will receive his letter and pin. Dawson Fugner, as a first-year student, will receive his letter and pin. Griffin Heitkamp will receive his letter and pin. Bowen Hendrickson will receive his letter, pin, and bar. Cooper Hubness will receive his letter and pin. Gideon Klein will receive his letter and pin. Donovan Klein, letter and pin. Danica Magnus, letter, pin, and bar. Jack O'Brien will receive his letter and pin. Cale Peavy will receive his letter, pin, and bar. Wyatt Rustin will receive his letter and pin. Brandy Schock will receive her pin. I believe she already has a letter. Oh, okay. Letter and pin. Mariley Stevens will receive her letter and pin. Porter Steven will receive his letter and pin. And what? Yes. So these letters and pins, as the students are participating throughout the year, they've were able to have a plus 50% win percentage. They were able to make it through all of their competitions and most of their practices. And of course, we had 4 students who competed at state this year with an additional sub-in of Mariley Steven for the Mario Kart team. So those students that participated and advanced to state were Bowen Hendrickson, Riley Corby, Brandy Schock, and Jaden Collins. And then, like I said, Mariley Stevens filled in for Jaden, who is going on a trip. You 3 can go over there as well. Every year we receive a donation from our internet provider, Polar Communications. They completely pay for our season registration, and they also finance 10 esports jerseys. And so the jerseys we try to give out to our upper level competitors. And so you got to see Mr. Rose passing those out this year. Two of them will need to receive their actual jerseys later on because somebody, not named myself, misspelled their last name, and so instead of Riley Steven, it is Stepen on her jersey. So those will be coming shortly. Next on our list is the spring play with Miss Betty Hurst.
Okay, if you were in the spring play, just come on down. I do personalized awards for each person in the spring play. It's more of a fun award. Just stand up there. Yeah. Okay, Nick Nenow, you get the Typecast Royalty Award. Jesse Montebraten gets the Rookie with a Lead. Emily Hurt, Miss Hollywood. Dagan Slade, Roach and Destroy. Riley Corby, Fresh Face, Big Impact. Cooper Huptonus, Best Lead Frenchman. Haley Rosewarren, Natural Born Performer. See, Kale Peavy, Low Volume, High Impact. Marley Stein, Lifesaver. Bowen Hendrickson gets the Smash 'em with the Frying Pan Award. Noah Rance, Most Explosive Performance. Cheyenne Forty, Best Stage Drop. Finn Heidkamp, Best Shark Wrestler. Jenna Hoffarth, Curtain Call Crisis. Kendra Henke gets the Unstoppable Spirit. Natalie Olson gets the Best Fake Death Scene. Carmela Campo, is that? Yeah. Whisper Level Wonder. May Ellen Emery, The Smooth Criminal. And then there's one person who always helps out with the play but never gets any recognition, and that would be Kip Hovdenis, gets the Builder Extraordinaire Award. And next up, Academic Challenge.
Hello, hello. I'm the advisor for Academic Challenge. Academic Challenge is a team that goes to different schools and competes in 6 different categories of math, science, social studies, English, electives, and current events. We didn't quite make it to regionals this year, but we were pretty close, so that's where it's always at. All right, so here's the people that I have for that. I got Dagan Slade, Jesse Montebraten, Jaden Collins, Dagan Slade, Donovan Klein, Tyler Hammer, Lily Donahue, and Brandy Schock.
All right, it is my pleasure to honor two exceptional individuals who have made lasting impacts at Dakota Prairie Schools. Please join me in celebrating and welcoming Carolyn Birdall and Don Tenneco, who is not able to be here today, to the Dakota Prairie Hall of Fame. Carolyn, whether it be as a school secretary, technology coordinator, or a nighttime advisor, you always approach your various roles with one goal in mind: to help Dakota Prairie kids. One of my favorite memories of working with you was with your consistency. Very few things ever got you rattled, unless we were talking about Netrix. Inside joke there, sorry. And even fewer topics made you waver. I hope you are enjoying the next chapter of your life and you are missed here at Dakota Prairie. Come on up and say a few words.
Well, I was very, very surprised when I got the letter in the mail. I thought, oh my gosh, they found some kind of a bill I must still have. But that wasn't the case. And there's many faces out here that I recognize and a lot of faculty members that I remember, but I'm not that old either. So this is a very big honor for me, and I thank you all very much, and keep up the good education.
All right, next one is for Don Tenneco. Don wore many hats in his education profession throughout his career, and actually the entire region owes the guy gratitude. He worked for Warwick, he worked for us, he worked for numerous other schools. From superintendent to bus driver and everything in between, you are always patient and professional to everyone you encountered. Those of you who ever drove Don's bus know that. And that's no easy task, to be a bus driver and be patient. Don is unable to attend as he is enjoying his 4th retirement with family in Washington State. Just know your commitment to Dakota Prairie and our students is remembered. Dr. Bai wanted to say a few words too about Don. Don was always a very respectful person. Every day when he came into the office at the elementary school to get his bus notes, he would take off his hat because he was inside. He would begin talking because he was a good storyteller, and 4 out of 5 days, he would walk out and forget his hat, and usually his bottle of water. He thought a lot of all the kids on his bus, and he also had good things to say about his days as an administrator in Warwick. I believe it was before retiring and becoming a bus driver. He also spent many hours during COVID delivering meals to students who were at home, virtual learning, and still loved being able to make those connections with students at home. Don, you'll be missed. Carolyn and Don. Oh, yeah. Carolyn and Don, your dedication and hard work have truly made a difference in all of our lives. It is my pleasure to welcome you both to the Dakota Prairie School Hall of Fame. Thank you for your service and commitment.
Okay, for our last presentation of the day, we have our Night of the Year award. This award is created by taking all of the past Night of the Month winners and having teachers vote. Each Night of the Month is picked based on a variety of factors, but mainly focusing on our 4 R's: respect, relationship, rigor, and responsibility. I have been a part of Dakota Prairie and Night of the Month now for the past 5 years, and I think that this year's nominees and winners are some of our strongest yet. I think all of you guys were great representatives of our school, and I hope that you continue to be. The voting was really close this year, and I think that's a testament of the character of the students that you have become. I'm going to read I'll read our 7 through 9 Night of the Month winners, and then we'll do our drum roll and select our 7 through 9 Night of the Year, and then we'll do the same for the 10 through 12. So our 7 through 9 winners this past year are Owen Kieber, Cheyenne Forty, Kenley Blasey, Hannah Magnus, Tegan McKay, Hazen Christopherson, Kendra Hankey, Fiona Klein, and Paul Russia. So, yep, you guys come up. That's fine. Okay. Drum roll, please. Tegan McKay. And now I'll do the same for the 10 through 12. This past year, our winners were Rain, Trevor Stein, Alex, Abigail, Donovan, Reagan, Danica, Dagan, and Jesse. Drum roll, please. Jesse Matzabrown. Just real quick. So thank you again to the public for coming out and or watching on YouTube. Without your support, we couldn't do a lot of the things we do in this school. Once again, to you students, I just want to say thank you, and as a staff, how proud of all of you we are. Your accomplishments in this school are very wide-ranging and really show specific strengths that all of you have. Congratulations to all of you, and I hope that we have even more to celebrate next year. Thank you. You all can dismiss back to 6th hour too.